Hi, everyone. It's Kariana, your favorite witchy coach. Today, I'm going to be talking about how it seems like the 3D can bully us or beat us up sometimes, and how the 3D circumstances just seem so permanent. And like we can't change it, that it's not something that we can flip and work in our favor. All right, guys, before I get, into the video, I wanted to remind you that all of the links below will guide you if you need to book a session with me. I would love to help you on this journey, on your LOA journey, to get you everything that you desire. Also, like, share, and subscribe this video so we can get it out to as many people as I can. And, just reach as many people as I can to get this beautiful word of the LOA out. Okay, guys. So I'm here to just kind of state some hard facts here. Okay. One, I want to start off with something that's brought up in session a lot. Okay. I want to remind you that 3D circumstances just do not matter. They don't matter. And everything is changeable and malleable, even if it seems like it isn't. Okay. And while we're on the subject of 3D circumstances and all of that, you have to remember that when something is pushed out into our 3D reality and it's tangible, right? We can feel it, taste it, see it, touch it, all of those things. Okay. It had to be born in our subconscious. That's why, and there's always a delay in the 3D. And that's why we always say the 3D is dead and old, because it is. It was born in the consciousness and it was living there, right? Becoming this hardened in a fact story. Now, I know that I've talked about you pushing out things into your 3D very quickly before it's hardened into fact. Okay. And I still stand by that. But the thing is that even if we're pushing something out very quickly out into our 3D and we're experiencing it at that point in time, and it isn't hardened into fact quite yet, right? It's not completely taken over our old story yet. That can happen. It happens a lot. I see it all the time with my clients. I have seen it in my own life, but it still had to be born in the consciousness first. You still had to be feeding that to your subconscious in one way, shape, or form in order for it to push out into your 3D. Okay. So that's why we always say 3D just, it's dead and old, right? Starts here. Everything starts here. And this is honestly going back to the mind is what really matters the most. And it really does matter the most especially when you're experiencing things that are opposing and opposite in your 3D that seem like they're bullying you and beating you up. And people come to me in defeated states all the time. I've been there myself, right? When you're in defeated state, especially, you have to remember that going back into the mind and living in the mind is really most important, guys. Okay. Excuse me. It's absolutely most important. As when you feel defeated is when you're usually going to kind of throw up your hands, and you're still manifesting then, because you don't stop manifesting. You can't stop or start manifesting. You're always manifesting. Okay. And now that you're a conscious creator, getting a hold of your thoughts in those moments of defeat is most important. Okay. Because when we're feeling defeated, we're having negative thoughts, or we wouldn't be feeling that way. Everything precedes the thoughts, right? I always say that. Another thing, guys, is that you have to remember that the brain is not loyal to what you say that you want, right? What you say that your truth is. Okay. Follow me here. The brain is loyal to what you keep repeating, going back to. The brain is loyal to what you keep feeding it over and over again. So if I say that I'm a millionaire, okay, I'm a millionaire right now, and I brought this up before earlier in past videos, is you have to remember that the brain doesn't know what next week is or 2 weeks from now is or whatever. Bringing everything into the present and saying, that's why I'm saying I'm a millionaire now. So if I'm feeding that to my brain and I'm saying I'm a millionaire now, or I've got $1 million. Okay. Well, that's great. But the brain is not going to be loyal to that if I keep saying I'm broke the next sentence, right? Or the next thought that I have is I'm broke. Or whenever I go to the store and I spend money, I'm saying, oh, I hope this goes through, or my account's now going to be in the negative. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not going to go like too far into money or too far into any like particular subject. This is really about staying on course about this whole thing about the 3D bullying and beating us up. Okay, but that's what I mean by the brain is not loyal to what we say that we want or what we say our truth is right now. The brain is loyal to what we keep repeating. You know, what's repetitive? What do we keep going back to? Okay, that's what it's going to be loyal to. And that's why it seems like, you know, I always say the subconscious is a tricky bitch, right? It is our best friend. It really is. And it's doing its job. So whenever it's showing you the opposing thing in the 3D constantly, and it just seems like, you know, it's beating you up, but it keeps coming back and bullying you and you know, just putting things in your face that you don't like, it's still doing its job because it's giving you what you were feeding it predominantly at one time. Okay. And we also have to remember, once again, let me repeat myself, that, you know, the 3D we have a lag in the 3D. So if you're experiencing something right now in your 3D that you don't like, it's changeable and malleable. You know, don't necessarily freak out about it, right? We don't want to dwell. We just want to say, okay, I'm going to be an observer of this. Okay. And it's not something I like. It's not something that's making me feel good. I feel defeated. I feel like you're bullying me right now, 3D. I feel like you're beating me up right now, 3D. Okay. But it's just something that I was thinking about before that's now pushing out now. There's a lag here. What do I want to experience next? Go into that story and try to flip your thoughts as many times as you can a day. What do I always say? Keep your thoughts, 70 to 80% on the new story, right? I mean, there's not an exact like, you know, percentage, but I'm saying that sounds like you are going to be in, you know, when you're having 80,000 thoughts a day on average, that sounds like you're going to be more in the new story than you are the old story. And you're not going to let the 3D and that old story beat you up and bully you and defeat you. You're not ruminating. Okay. And I'm not trying to say that you're going to push out something, you know, some things can be quicker. And like I was talking about pushing something out in your 3D before it's hardened. In fact, yes, it really just depends on your assumptions around it and how long you've been feeding that story to your subconscious. Okay. And I don't know everybody's story. Okay. I'm just sitting here stating the facts and what I've seen over the years. I've been doing this for a very long time. Okay. So anyways, with that being said, guys, you know, it's when you're feeding yourself and this works in the same way, negative or positive. Like I said, my brain is not going to be loyal to me saying I want $1 million or I'm a millionaire one time, probably, right? It's not going to be loyal to that if the next sentence that I say is, oh, but I'm flat broke and I can't afford that, right? I can't buy that. Oh, I'm never going to have that car that I want. Oh, my car's breaking down. How am I going to afford another car? I'm broke, right? I'm looking at my bank account 5 times a day and I'm sitting there ruminating on the number because it's too low and I'm not going to be able to pay my bills or have any of my luxuries paid that month because I'm broke. Okay. That's what my brain is going to be loyal to, what I repeat constantly, what I keep on going back to, what I keep in repetitive motion. Okay. So just take that with you and remember that. Also, too, you know, this is really, really important, guys. When you are faced with a 3D, okay, and it is being a bully, okay, I want you to remember that I don't want you to fear it, right? We don't run away from bullies as much as we want to, as much as we're afraid, right? I mean, 9 times out of 10, if somebody was, you know, getting, you know, bad response from their schoolmates, right? And they go home and they tell their parents are going to probably handle it accordingly. Yes, but they're also going to probably tell you, you know, be brave, right? Have confidence in yourself. And I want you to do just that with LOA, with creating your life that you want, creating your perfect reality. What I mean by that is that I don't want you to fear anything. I've said this plenty of times. I don't want you to fear anything. I don't want you to run away from anything, right? We don't deny anything. Just like a 3D, a 3P, we don't deny a 3P. We don't sit there and skip around and repeat it all day that there's a 3P, whether it be video games that you don't like that your partner plays all the time, or whether it be a addiction or a bad behavior that your partner has, or whether it be another person that's in between you and your relationship. We don't sit there and worship the person or thing. Obviously, we don't. We don't make an affirmation about it and sing it all day. We don't do that. But we also don't run away from it and fear it and say, and stick our fingers in our ears and go la 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 la, or put our, our hands over our eyes and say, it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. I don't think that's the answer to it at all. I've seen amazing results with what I teach. And the one thing that I do teach is don't fear anything, right? Face it head on. Face everything head on. So if you feel like you are defeated today, if you felt like you were defeated last week, if you want to take this, just in case you ever feel defeated again, remember this, stick it in the back of your mind, and remember, hear my voice. Do not fear anything. Okay. Face it head on. And you know what I always say, when you fear something and you stuff it away, what happens? It gets bigger. The fear gets bigger because you're just ignoring it and you're not working through it. And what you are saying too, also to your subconscious, is that I'm not in control, right? I fear this thing, so I feel like I can't change it. I fear this thing, so I feel like it can beat me. I feel like it can run me over. I feel like it can challenge me and win. Okay. That's what you're feeding your subconscious when you constantly are, letting these things defeat you and letting them get you down and letting you dwell. I'm not saying that you can't have a fleeting thought here and there about a bad old, past thing that you manifested. Maybe you're ruminating on a old argument that you had with somebody, or you're replaying their bad behaviors, or you're replaying all of the mean, ugly things that they said to you before, you had that last conversation or that last conversation ended. I'm not saying that can't happen, or if you do that, then you're letting the problem get bigger and that it can't be changed. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. That's natural. What I mean by is that, what are you doing next? Right. I always say that. What are you doing in those moments to flip it and change it and step up to it? Right. Face it head on, guys. Don't fear anything, because this is your reality. This is your quantum bubble. Okay. And you have to remember that you are absolutely it. Everything starts and ends with you, and you are absolutely the creator. You are it. You are it. The only reason why you're not alone in your reality is because you've manifested all of these people, things, pets, everything around you for you to experience that in your world, in your reality. Okay. But you are the only one with the free will. You are the only one on the pedestal. You are the only one with the ultimate power. Okay. You are literally everything. You're the writer, director, producer, the actor. Okay. Amongst the other actors that you hire or you fire. It's up to you. And one of the great things that I like to do in my own life, clients' life, taught it to friends, is that works like a charm for people that are, and I see this a lot in session, for clients that are coming to me and really, really having a hard time with the 3D, beating them up, defeating them, feeling defeated, feeling like they're having this repetitive story. The old story always, pops its ugly head up. Oh, things are going great, and then it happened again, Kariana. Or this is something that I've been dealing with for the last 10 years. I can't get it right. Or right now, my 3D just seems so real. I don't know how I'm going to be able to change this. And they're freaking out. One of the good things, one of the brilliant things that I have been able to teach my clients is I remember when. Okay. I remember when that thing happened between me and so-and-so. Okay. I remember when we got into the argument. I remember when they said this to me. I remember when my car engine blew up and my bank account was at zero. But then this happened, right? But now this is my story. But now me and so-and-so, we are perfect. right? But now me and so-and-so, we're back on track and better than ever. I did it. I manifested the perfect version of this person. This person has done a 180. I can't believe how beautiful this person has blossomed. I can't believe how much this person has changed. I can't believe how well this person treats me now, right? Use that I remember when, because it is brilliant. It's one of the great things that you can take with you and use that to face your 3D head on when you feel like you're being bullied and when you feel like you're being beat up and you feel like you're defeated. Okay. I've used it in my own life several times. And like I said, it's brilliant. I love it. I love, love, love it. Okay. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to mention in this video, because I had a couple of things that I really just wanted to make sure that I conveyed, and I did. I just want you guys to remember that your brain is not loyal to what you say that you want once, or you say that your truth is now, if the next sentence is the opposite. And you keep going back to that. Your brain is going to be loyal with what you repeat to it. And that's just it. And you may be upset at what you're getting in your 3D. Okay. You have to remember that subconscious is never broken. It's working like a charm. It's doing its job. And like I said, it can seem like a tricky bitch, but it's doing its job, and it is your best friend. Okay. It is absolutely your best friend. So next time that you ask yourself, but my clients always come to me in session, but Kariana, what if I, take this job and I have the boss from hell again? Okay. What if I take this job and I don't fit in and nobody likes me? Okay. What if I buy this new car and I can't make the payments because I'm broke right now and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a job? What if I take so-and-so back? Okay. Because I want them back, and I say, do you really? Because, but that's a whole nother video. But people that come to me and say, I want so-and-so back, right? Or I'm manifesting this person in, and I'm afraid that if they come back, the old behaviors will come back. Okay. Ask yourself, without going into too much detail, I don't want this video to be too long and, get out of control, because I can get off subject. But ask yourself, do I trust in myself? Do I recognize the power within myself? Do I recognize the power within me? Do I feel like I'm the one that has the absolute control and the free will? Do I trust myself to take this on and to manifest what I need to manifest to maintain this, beautiful new reality, this beautiful new relationship with this person? And it is a new relationship, because guess what? The old relationship, if this person did come back, is dead and old and gone and buried. And we don't bring that back. We don't entertain that. So this is a beautiful new relationship. Ask yourself, do I really feel like I recognize the power in myself? Do I really feel like I'm the one with the free will? Do I really feel like this is my reality and that they're in it and I'm manifesting them in, and I'm commanding them to act the way that I want them to act, how I desire this to all work out? Ask yourself that. It's really that simple. Because if you keep going on the path of, but if I do this, what if this happens? Then guess what? Now you've suddenly identified with, but what if this happens? The negative. You've suddenly become that person every single time, because thought transmission is instant, right? Anything that we're thinking is instantly being transmitted out into our energy field, out into the universe. Okay. And everybody's getting that from us. It's not something that we can switch on and off. I've said this before. So the minute that I say, but if I do this, what if this happens? But if I do this, but what if this happens? And I have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, I'm identifying with, but what if this happens? And it's a negative story. Okay. So take that with you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, night, wherever you are. You guys are all beautiful creators, all powerful. And you guys know this. And if you don't know this, this is your reminder. This is your sign that you need to get back on the horse step back into your power, and take the notes from this video and apply them today and get whatever the heck that you're trying to call in, whatever you desire. Okay. Get it today. Start on it today, right now, in this moment. Everything is instant, guys. All right. Even if it takes seconds and minutes to get to us, everything is instant. So the minute that we start changing our thoughts in this very minute is the minute that everything starts rearranging itself for us to give us what we want. That chess game is being played. So don't ever forget that. All right. I love you guys so, so much. I'm going to end it there, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye. Take care.